Cea mai cunoscută zonă demilitarizată de pe glob, DMZ, separă Coreea de Sud de cea de Nord. Războiul dintre cele două țări s-a încheiat prin încetarea focului, nu printr-un tratat de pace. Așa s-a creat DMZ, o fâșie de pământ marcată de garduri și apărată de armată. Acum, acest tip de soluție este model pentru încetarea războiului din Ucraina. Discutăm cu Kap-soo, ambasadorul Coreei de Sud la București, despre ce înseamnă, de fapt, să trăiești permanent sub amenințarea războiului. Sunt Cristina Cileacu, începe Pașaport Diplomatic. Kap-soo, ambassador of Korea in Bucharest, welcome to Diplomatic Passport.
Thank you very much for having me.
Ambassador, you are ending your mission in Romania. It was a long and fruitful mission, but we'll talk about that soon. I want to start our interview with DMZ, Demilitarized Zone. In the common foreign affairs language now, when we talk about the situation in Ukraine, the war that Russia started, we hear that one solution may be similar with the Korean DMZ, the region between South Korea and North Korea. In your view, something like that could work for Ukraine?
Let me just tell you that the special conditions surrounding DMZ. As you may know, the Korean War ended in 1953, but it was not formally ended by signing peace treaty, but it's like the ceasefire. So DMZ is created along the border to make it a demilitarized zone. And it has been there over 7 decades. Whether the so-called Korean model can be applied to Ukraine, I'm not sure about that. The different situation, they are facing also, I'm not sure. But what I can certainly say is that the current unstable situation surrounding DMZ and the ceasefire between the two Koreas without having any peace regime or peace treaty is just a stopgap measure, not a permanent settlement. So it's up to the Ukrainian people or the Western countries' choice whether they can apply the unsettled states of the war, just put into place to resolve the Ukrainian war.
But can you explain for the Romanian public what does it mean for your country, for South Korea, to actually take care to protect the DMZ on your side of the border?
Once again, it's just it was intended actually to make the stopgap measures to bring the war into an end. And then later, the original thought has been that later there will be a peace treaty, right, to build a permanent, peaceful regime on the Korean Peninsula. But the second thought has not come true after 7 decades. So the DMZ still very vividly remained on our side. Someday, we have to remove the DMZ, and we have to transform from this current ceasefire status into building permanent and stable peace regime. My government has been trying a lot to bring a permanent peace regime on the Korean Peninsula, and that mission we are still facing, but we were the unwavering, pursuing the path to build last and stable peace regime on the Korean Peninsula.
North Korea and Russia have something in common. They threat their neighbors, they attack their neighbors. In case of Russia, invade their neighbors. Do you think that it's better to be realistic and to see exactly the situation and to behave like the situation imposes?
Let me be short and brief. Yes, ever since the end of the Korean War in 1953 July, and unexpectedly, the current standoff, without having any peace agreement, it entered into eighth decade already. And because the current status of the relations between the two Koreas, divided by and protected by DMG, is quite unstable. Technically speaking and legally speaking, because we are not in legally peaceful regime, so at any time, the current status can evolve into, a new flashpoints. And the Korean Peninsula issue is not only limited to both Koreas, but also it is involving the geopolitical, power games. China, Russia, and Korea, Japan, and the USA all involved. So it's not only our problem, but it is also Northeastern Asia's problem, and it is the international problem. That's why my government has been trying to reach out to make the right environment to pursue our goal to make Korean Peninsula into a very stable and the permanent peace regime.
Your country is extremely good when it comes to defense. I'm talking both about the fact that the population is trained and the army is mandatory, but also when it comes to the defense industry. Why your government, over the last 72 years, keep this decision alive and improve constantly both the training level of the army and also the capabilities and the defense industry of South Korea?
Security matters. Security is all about the lives of our people. So when we are facing the existential threats about our life and death problem, we have to, put every effort to preserve. The Korea, as you said, Korea is one of a few countries in the world still maintaining the conscription drafting system. My father served in the army 48 months. Myself served in the army 30 months. My son, he also served in the army for 18 months. And not only maintaining the current conscription system, but also we have been putting a lot of efforts, resources to make us to be ready for our national defense, And we have been trying a lot and invest a lot to enhance our own defense capabilities for the last 7 decades. I don't know the exact figure, but my understanding is that since the end of 1953, since the end of the Korean War, my government has been spending, in average, 2.6 or 7% of our national GDP into defense. So point number one is that it's about our security. Right? So we cannot compromise, sacrificing our defense. Number two is that to equip us with the enough resources and materials to enhance our own national security defense posture. We have been putting also a lot of efforts to, to elevate our defense industry. Defense industry has been also an integral part of our national economic development strategy during the 60s and 70s and 80s. Because the defense technology or equipment, it can be a dual use. So one technology used in the defense equipment can be applied to also to other industrial sectors.
To civilians. Yeah.
So it is called the spillover effect. Ever since we pursue National Economic Development Plan since the 1960s, we integrated the defense industry not only for enhancing our defense capabilities, but also to enhance our economic development plan as well. So still we are allocating lots of resources out of our defense budget into boosting our defense industrial capacity. So I can boast of our national defense capabilities and the national industrial defense capabilities. Now we have many world-renowned global defense industries as well, right? And we are now equipping ourselves with the Korean-made high-technical equipments as well. And we are also extending our military industrial cooperation with our strategic partners, including Romania.
We'll get back to the Romanian cooperation when it comes to defense with South Korea, but I want to ask you, because your national strategy for security, for defense, includes four important names. One is the United States, then is China, then is Japan, and then is Russia. Share with us how South Korea actually puts itself in relationship with all these four countries separately.
Yes, first, when it comes to United States is the backbone of our national security strategy. Our alliance with the United States was forged from the blood spilled over into our own soil during the Korean War. At the time, Korea was at the edge of being totally annihilated during the Korean War. But many countries, including the United States, the 16 countries under the UN flag, they came to us to help us. Ever since, the United States has been the backbone of our national security policy. Nowadays, we are enjoying the best moments of our alliance with the United States since the launching of our new government in last June. With less than the 150 days, we had 2 summits already. The first summit, our President Lee Jae-myung, he flew to Washington, D.C. in August to have a summit. And President Trump also flew back to Korea during the APEC summit. So we had already, in less than 150 days, activities. And they produced many tangible and very concrete seminar documents to enhance, to adapt our alliance. And we do have also the 28,500 U.S. troops stationed in Korea, right? So our alliance, not only covering the defense posture, but our alliance is now expanding to cover high technical sector, economic area, all the multidimensional. It's a very closely interlocked, right? So I can say our alliance with the USA is, ironclad. When it comes to our relations with Japan, Japan is our immediate neighbor, and we share the same perspective and the values like the democracy, the freedom. Even though we do have some issues regarding history, but we have to put the history behind us to forge ahead with the sound and healthy collaboration. So since our new government was launched in June, again, there have been 3 summits already between Korea and Japan. So our new government is now initiating so-called the shuttle diplomacy, right?
Coming and going.
To talk, to just sit down and to talk heart to heart.
I have to say your government is moving really fast.
Yes, right, yes. And with regards to our relations with China, again, China is our immediate neighbor, and China is our biggest trading partner. Second, China can play important role on the Korean Peninsula matters.
Issues, yeah.
So China have been very important partner in our policy toward North Korea. They can play a very constructive role in the settlement of any disputes on the denuclearization issues also, right? So from those 2 points of view, we have to engage very constructively with China. Actually, my president has already had a summit with Chinese President Mr. Xi in Korea in November. So anyway, some people say China is now flexing its muscles, and
well, it does flex its muscles.
There are also some the voices that it needs to be contained, But I think the international relations or the nation-to-nation relations is a complex one. We don't need to have only one angle to be viewed right? There are many angles, and there are many the threat to put on to look at relations with other countries, in particular China. So I can say, yes, in the some part, yes, certainly there is the competition, but on the other hand, there is definitely also enough area for cooperation.
And Russia, because it's also part of your national strategy?
Yes, frankly speaking, yes, we are having difficult times with our relations with Russia because of the Russia's, the edging closer to the North Korea in terms of their military collaborations. Such the environment and the current condition definitely does not help to build up constructive relations with Moscow. But anyway, Moscow is also one important player in the Korean Peninsula issue. So I can say that also we need to also the different angle to deal with Russia. Yes, the Russia's invasion of Ukraine and that kind of thing is not acceptable actually. But at the same time, that does not mean that we have to cut off all the relations with Russia.
But knowing exactly who Russia is. Ambassador, we said in the beginning of our interview that this is your last one here in this capacity of ambassador in Romania. Yeah. I have to tell to our viewers that you are extremely passionate about our country. You managed to clear the way for Korean investments when it comes to defense industry in Romania. Tell us, why are you so much into Romania and how hard was it for you to do all this?
Yes, I still very vividly remember it was in the 2021 September, before I came here. I watched the TV, that thing. At that time, at the height of COVID-19 pandemic era, we were running short of vaccines. So we reached out to other countries to provide vaccines, right? But the Romania responded, and the Romania just extended their helping hand to us. The media broadcast, the scene. Romanian airplane loaded with vaccines. Before that, Romania was just one country of the European Union. But since that moment, yes, not only me, but also the other many Korean people, they look at Romania in a different cast. And 3 months later, I was notified that I'll be named ambassador to Romania. It's quite coincidence.
It's destiny.
And a destiny, yes. Yes, Christina, yes, I can say it's a destiny. And before coming to Romania, I studied. Before I sent my foot in Helicon, the international airport, I already accumulated some knowledge about Romania, about the bilateral relations between Korea and Romania. What I felt lacking in our bilateral relations is that, yes, we have been strategic partners since 2008, but it remains just in paper. So my mission, my top priority has been, again, to enhance our economic relations in a very substantive way, befitting our strategic partnership. In July and in October, our presidential special envoy, the chief of staff, he visited here. That was the very first time since we opened diplomatic relations in 1990. And just December the 4th, our two presidents met, not met, but they had...
By the phone, but there is a meeting.
Telephone conversation, the first time, over 40 minutes. And the telephone conversation has been focused largely on what I said, enhancing our economic cooperation, how to bring the strategic economic projects, including the defense area, nuclear energy, and the constant development. That has been the main points during our two leaders' telephone conversation.
Ambassador, you did quite a lot for this relationship. Thank you so much for your presence in the program, but also thank you so much for all the work you did for both Romania and Korea.
thank you so much once again to having me here. You are the first, anchor to interview me, and you are now the last anchor to interview me during my mandate here.
Is the name of the program is called Diplomatic Passport. It's kind of my job.
Yeah, so I can assure you, and I can also assure the audiences, to my Romanian friends, that even though I'm leaving, but I will carry Romania in my heart, and wherever I'm serving, I'm working, I will always support Romania.
Kamsahamnida.
Vă mulțumesc!
Atât pentru astăzi, dar rămânem în continuare online pe pagina de Facebook a emisiunii și pe conturile noastre de X și Instagram. Revenim cu subiecte noi din lumea diplomației și a politicii externe, vinerea viitoare de la 11:30 și în reluare sâmbătă după miezul nopții. La revedere!